Last but not the least, we have very important session on yet contemporary issues and challenges, which will be chaired by Jairaj sir, who is our esteemed EC member and former Secretary General also. In the panelists, we have with us Professor Rashmi Salvekar ma'am, Dr. Shikhar Ranjan sir, Dr. Vikesh Ram Tripathi, Mr. Sanjay Kumar and Ms. Chera Yash. So we welcome you all.
So now, issue of contemporary issues and the challenges, different aspects of the challenges, different challenges are there. First of all, I call upon Professor Rashmi, an academic leader in her own right, and she has been 18 of Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and some reflections. We will be eagerly that article and we will see.
Thank you so much, sir. It is a great honor that in this panel, Professor Jairaj is chairing the session and I am presenting paper in this particular panel. So thank you so much. So kind permission, I would like to start the presentation on the topic that is Article 18 of Universal Declaration of Human Rights 1948. Before that, wish you all very happy Human Rights Day. So Article 18. So what exactly Article 18? So therefore, first of all, let me tell you the exact wordings of Article 18. In all your this material which society has given you for the conference, you must have seen that there is UDHR, ICCPR and ICACR also. So we are required to refer that material, and I am thankful that. So under Article 18, under Universal Declaration of Human Rights, it is stated that everyone has the right to freedom of thought, conscience and religion. This right includes freedom to change his religion or belief, and freedom, either alone or in community with others, and public or private, to manifest his religion or belief in teaching, practice, worship and observance. So my complete presentation is on Article 18 and then its development as well. Now what exactly right to freedom of religion? If you will see, it proclaims about the freedom of religion. Now religion, as we all know, it is very close to all of us. Our name, our habits, the living style, everything is it is very much closely associated with the religion. In fact, we can say that it is a practice of one's religion or belief. The way we worship, the way we observe it, whatever the customs, whatever the teaching we have, it is mostly based on the religion. So thus, the freedom of religion, it is a freedom as stated or as provided in Universal Declaration of Human Rights. It is belonging to an individual, so this is an individual right. This is also a group right. This is a right given to the community. We can profess it in public and private, as also it is recognized as a civil right in international legal regime. And as you know, the civil rights, so civil right has binding obligation in comparison to economic, social and cultural rights. So it is recognized as a civil right. Now what are the pros and cons of this freedom of religion? Pros, yes, with the respect for, with this basic human right, we can say that it is powerful force for preventing, resolving and ending conflicts. However, when it is into denial, then in that case, it is also very powerful to cause of the conflict between the religious groups. There are many challenges when we are having this international legal norm to profess and to have a freedom of religion, but however, there are many challenges also. There is a contest as well, and therefore it is creating a conflict. Contest means which religion is better, who is supreme. So because of this unnecessary race or competition, at times you will find that the conflict is also increasing day by day. And it is resulting into intolerance for each other's religion. Now here, the point is, freedom of religion has been included by one of the recognized mother human rights document, that is Universal Declaration of Human Rights. On its each and every provision, you will find that a convention, a sacred convention has also been adopted. Then why is it so that because of this particular provision which have been recognized, even now also conflicts are going on? So do we have anything for tolerance under international legal regime? When we are saying that we are having freedom of religion, do we have tolerance? To have a tolerance for each other's religion, do we have any legal regime on the same? So the problem is that, according to me, when we are giving freedom of religion, I think this is incomplete or maybe inadequate. What is missing? My argument in this particular presentation is tolerance is missing. Now for this, what do you mean by tolerance? What do you mean by non-discrimination? For tolerance, I would like to refer UNESCO 1995 principles, that is UNESCO Declaration of Principles of Tolerance 1995. And therein, tolerance is defined as that it is the respect, acceptance and appreciation of the rich diversity of our words, cultures, our forms of expression and ways of being human. It is fostered by knowledge, openness, communication and freedom of thought, concerns and belief. Tolerance is harmony in difference. It is not only a moral duty, it is also political and legal requirement. So this is how the tolerance is expressed and explained in the UNESCO Declaration of Principles of Tolerance 1995. So considering this particular explanation given on tolerance in 1995, to move further, we can go ahead that is it so that tolerance is also included in various international legal instruments. For example, in UDHR 1948, in preamble, in Article 1 it is stated all human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights. Further in Article 2, we are emphasizing on non-discrimination including based on religion, and then Article 18 which I have already gone through. In UDHR under Article 26(2), you will find that tolerance, this particular in the context of education, that right to education directing towards promoting respect and tolerance towards various religious beliefs. So in Universal Declaration of Human Rights under Article 18, when we are asserting on the freedom of religion, in the same document under Article 26 Clause 2, regarding right to education, we are also referring tolerance towards various religious beliefs, and for that matter, as we know, ICCPR and ICSCR, both, they are a kind of offshoot of Universal Declaration of Human Rights. So under International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, under Article 2 Clause 1, non-discrimination is given, and then further freedom of religion is also given again under Article 18 Clause 1. If you will see under this Article 18(1) wordings of ICCPR and UDHR, it is more or less same. It is similar, except one word, and that is adopt. Yeah? It must be prescribed by law, and then it must be in accordance with public safety, order, health, morals, etc. So these sub-clauses you will find under Article 18 of ICCPR. However, tolerance you will not find. Tolerance which you will not find along with the religion, the provision of freedom of religion. In ICSCR again, Article 2 is for the non-discrimination including based on religion. Yes, and in Article 13 you will find that we have referred tolerance. But again, the tolerance is in relation to right to education, and therein also it is stated that we are required to understanding tolerance and friendship among all nations and all racial, ethnic or religious groups. However, as we know, ICSCR is not having that kind of strong binding obligation as ICCPR has. In addition to this, in all these conventions which are listed over here, in that we will find that the provision pertaining to the freedom of religion, protection of religious beliefs, religious practices has been given for the freedom of religion. However, in all these instruments, tolerance has not been given. Now, is there any legal regime, is there any legal instrument, international legal instrument wherein the tolerance and non-discrimination has been given? So yes, it is Declaration of 1981.
Activists all over the world press right to being informed and decision. So that part of our right is crucial. Now let me move to, as part of our massive struggle launched by the people of India through civil rights movement. And one very such important movement is a Mazdoor Kisan Shakti Sangathan movement of Rajasthan. And they wanted to ensure transparency in public distribution system. Public distribution system did not have any accountability. Ration shops would remain closed for days and the full ration would be marketed out in black markets. So they coined up a movement. Slogan was "Hamara paisa, hamara hisab, ye chahiye, ye jane chahiye." So a result of that movement was that Rajasthan government was forced to ensure that every public distribution system shop should have on its board in which how much ration has been received, how much grain, how much sugar has been received, and how much has been distributed. So from there this right came, and in 1990 the Freedom of Information Law got, but this law was never notified, never got into force, and when the next government came, certain people were as part of the National Advisory Council, leading social activists and ideas who were derived from the service to work with people. Madam Aruna Roy, she was part of that National Advisory Council. She was the brain behind.
Lawyer students had a great responsibility when we talked about the ASEAN regional framework. So that's the one point. Now coming to the only 3 minutes. So okay. So see, very quickly, because the time is limited, I was having much materials. So let me come to the crux of the another argument why we need a regional protection. If you will see the prevailing situation in India, the human rights violations. So for a purpose of a case study, I have taken certain examples from the Myanmar, then China, Sri Lanka, Afghanistan, Bangladesh, and Thailand. And see, when I am talking, doesn't mean that even in India, certain instances you can cite that that needs the human rights attention and problems are there. But particularly the problem of Rohingyas in Myanmar, and then the way it happened to the Sri Lanka, particularly the Tamil community, are specific instances that, see, these conflicts are basically, we will say, we have a common roots. So once we were common, it's a great land, now particularly to the SAARC region I am talking about. So you will find multiple border disputes. Apart from that, the community, the inter-community conflicts, the discrimination based on various regions. So these needs a different address, a different mechanism, and a different Western model under the International Bill of Rights need to be implemented with modifications, or a new ASEAN group of 10 nations has been established, and they have established the Intergovernmental Commission on Human Rights. After that, the Seoul Guidelines in 2008, which set forth the rights of the migrant and migrant workers, is an example of another joint action. The National Human Rights Commission of Thailand, Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines agreed to be cooperate in 5 areas of concern when they signed a declaration of cooperation in June 2007. Now coming, the Asian Human Rights Charter endorses right to life, peace, democracy, social and cultural identity, and more of vulnerable groups protections, for instance women, children, differently able. Nowhere seeks to establish a permanent body at a regional level for the supervision, protection, and advancement of human rights. Instead, it conveys the role of NGOs, advocates the citizens to promote human rights, protected for it. So, even though we have an Asian Human Rights Charter, as of now, we can take an example, but it talks more about the role of NGOs and other things. So, no particular framework for a specific body and with specific powers and all that, the way other continents they have comparatively. Human rights conventions, knowledge and conscience of the right acquires the legal and administrative procedure for securing and preventing the abuse of the right. So with this certain highlights, let me come to my conclusions part. So I put a proposal subject of course to your objections and submissions, that if at all we are thinking, so we have to take the two-tier system. Because I have already told you Asia is one region, and then within that we have 5 regions. So the regional body and the sub-regional body. So the sub-regional body must be confined to the 5 sub-regions of Asia, namely Western Asia, Central Asia, Eastern Asia, Southeastern Asia, and the regional body over above the 5 sub-regions. The sub-regional body must be made capable of taking suo motu cognizance of matters apart from the complaint made to it, so as to make it a more meaningful organization, and decision making must not confine to any permanent membership. So see, let me give you the example, the prevailing certain international conflicts. I will not be coming to my back. See, the veto power was one of the region that Russia used it whether you say misused or used, that is one thing. So point is that my point is that if at all we are making certain things, so let us not have some veto mechanism inside that, so that one permanent member can use it as and when it wants. So it must be via the general and specific conscience of the nations, so that the nations are not left without any remedy, and it must be capable of issuing warnings and taking prompt measures for the prevention. It must endorse integration instead of annexation at the cost of million innocent lives. Now coming to the last point, that is the regional body. So the regional body is expected to be mutually coordinate with the sub-regional bodies and with the universal bodies for the overall supervision, protection and enforcement of the rights in the Asian region. It must be the chief controlling body over the Asian region and must be a keen developer of specialized policies and institutions to tackle the emergency needs and humanitarian crisis, management of conflict and well-being of the crisis affected regions, quality measures having the binding element. So at the last, with minimized violations of rights and greater harmony, is hopeful in future along with protection of state sovereignty and state autonomy. So I would be ending myself.
You can end it now.
Thus, so I am extremely sorry, sir, but with this I would like to say that we should have a two-tier system of protection, is the regional level and sub-regional level. That's all for my presentation. Thank you all, and thanks to the kind chair for extending my time. So that's all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Tripathi. You have put up a very passionate presentation on the issue of the lack of, and you have also advocated a scheme. In fact, you have a very structured, proposal. That is a regional body and sub-regional body, coordination within the sub-regional body, and back and forth with the universal bodies and things like that. It's a very imaginative proposal, but we have not seen what are the reasons why, like other continents, his effort is to have one such regional body, but why we are not able to have it. And partially he gave an answer that there are 5 regional groups here. I think more or less that is geographically, religiously, culturally, I think they are, what is it called, the contiguous zones are there. That is one basis, and I want to tell you now, this is not, yesterday I said that there are a lot of critics even after 75 years, both from Western scholars and our own third world Western value. There is so many regions and cultures are participating through UNESCO and through UN Human Rights Committee to bring the UDHR. In fact, it is the most secular and most democratic. But in 1995, Singapore and China raised in the Vienna Convention on Human Rights that, look, if you are seeking universalism, in fact, Singapore was so clear and very, with a strong voice, that if you seek universalism, you can't disown the diversity within the cultures and things like that. And therefore, China was supporting, saying that we have a culture, the individual should put his right only after the right of the state. So this ruffle in Vienna Convention, after all these years, a country like Singapore taking a break. There, I have come across an article by Professor Amartya Sen on exactly on this question of Singapore raising this issue, and it is one of the lectures on one of the Western jurists as a memorial lecture, a long piece. In that he very clearly concludes there is in Europe is almost same religion, different languages, culture is same, but Asia is not like that. That is why it is very difficult. But as an alternate modeling is there. We don't know how long it will take. But one thing, only India, I think in Asia, you may correct me, and there is one in Africa, that is South Africa. He explained in this context why Asian countries are I am not asking him, I am just putting it. Please keep in mind, the Asian countries are the poorest ratifiers of the ICC. International Criminal Court. So therefore, the kind of an attitude that prevents many Asian countries to these conventions. But they are all party to the UDHR, to covenants and all that. So we have to think in the light of how to bring them together in consonance with the international convention. But anyway, I appreciate you. Your passionate proposal is very good, and I hope many people will take it to for further research, and you continue to do the research in the field you are chosen. Thank you. Now I call upon Mr. Sanjay Kumar, and I think it's a joint. He is right now he is a PhD scholar in the Faculty of Law, University of Delhi. He has been teaching earlier in Amity and also in other places as a guest faculty.
Dignitaries of the dais and of the dais. Purpose and principle of UDHR, Universal Declaration of Human Rights, after the disintegration of USSR, and again we will talk about what is the status of human rights in multipolar world. We know that Universal Declaration of Human Rights was first codified Bill of Rights after Second World War, and it has been translated into 500 different languages on this planet. So it became most translated, and because of this UDHR, several charters and several declarations. What was the status of human rights? We know that Western countries, in the name of NATO, it was led by US and other Western countries, and other was Warsaw Pact, it was led by USSR. So one bloc was basically making emphasis on civil and political rights. They were focusing on freedom of express and speech, liberty of thoughts, but similarly there was other bloc which was focusing on social and economic rights, like right of society, right of communities. So spreading human rights around the world and democracy. So the purpose and principle of UDHR were tied with the democracy and free market. So it became ideological battle between two military. So here I would like to quote some article of UDHR. Article 22 of UDHR says that UDHR would be put into practice in accordance with the organization and resources of each state. In UDHR, there was no article which can be said this is the superior to earlier article. There are civil and political rights, there are economic and social rights. So we cannot say that one article is superior to other article and one article is subordinate to other article. So during the Cold War period, we can say it became a kind of missionary drill in the state of America to interfere in foreign government. What is this missionary drill? Earlier in, I believe, 9th or 10th century, there was crusade for spreading Christianity and Islam all around the world. So they have fought many battles on the basis of religion. Similar kind of crusade we can see in the foreign policy of United States of America to spread democracy, free market around the world in the name of promoting human rights around the world. So according to Congressional Research Committee report, United States of America had interfered 400 times in abroad or in toppling the foreign government after 1950. So when we come to the unipolar, became the sole superpower after the disintegration of USSR. Again here, US had fought its three biggest war And out of these three biggest wars, two wars had fought after 1991. The war against Afghanistan and Iraq. We have seen in Vietnam War, US had lost its highest number of soldiers there. So we must understand this thing very clearly, that no country can impose democracy on other nations by force. We have seen the failed experiment of United States of America and other Western countries to promote human rights or to promote the principle and purpose of human rights in other countries. But Honorable Sir has also discussed regarding some kind of universalism, what he was talking about, the China and Singapore, these countries are saying. I believe, and I would like to add here something, has to be developed by a country. Any model of development and governance basically come through their own ancient history, their own belief system, their own customs and values. So here we have been always failed to integrity of governance and development, and we always try to impose from outside. So when we talk about human rights in multipolar world order, right now what we are facing today, yes, this world is outrightly economic multipolar world, because after the 2008 economic crisis, the importance of G7, it was the elite group of G7 which was responsible to manage global economic crisis. It was replaced by G20, and we know what is the importance of G20. If this is an era of multipolar world order, who will lead this multipolar world order? As it was said by Secretary General Antonio Guterres, there cannot be multipolar world order without an active global leadership of India. India is the only few country in this world who has very good relation with Russia as well as USA. We don't align ourselves on the basis of ideology, on the basis of particular religion, or on the basis of particular philosophy. We do not see whether the country is run by democratic means or whether the country is run by one party authoritarian rule. So we don't make friends on the basis of particular ideology. So here I believe that India is a country who can play important role in resolving any kind of crisis if there are some kind of gross violation of human rights. It happened in Syria. We have seen there was two opposite groups. One was supported by US and other was supported by Russia. Russia had supported rebel group of Syria, and US had supported rebel group of Syria, and Russia was supporting Assad government. And because of the conflict of the national interest of these two superpowers, the conflict of Syria was continued for almost 10 years. And right now we are also seeing what is the condition of in Ukraine. Again, this is again ideological battle between the two superpowers. So here I believe the country like India, which is having the second largest standing army on this planet, if we include our paramilitary forces, fourth strong air force, fifth largest navy of the world, but still India is known as a reluctant superpower. We must understand, if you want permanent membership in Security Council, then we need to take a stand on the issue like Syria, on the issue like Ukraine, so that we can justify, as earlier it was said by earlier speaker, the philosophy of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. This idea is very nice, but we have to show this world what we are exactly doing for fulfilling the philosophy of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for this forceful plea for non-interference by the superpowers into others' affairs. And you have very well, I think that goes very well with your experience and with the grassroots level experience. Please proceed.
Thank you. First of all, I would like to just I would like to wish Happy-
15 minutes, huh? 15 minutes. 15 minutes you have. You have 15 minutes time.
Okay. Yes, sir. Thank you. I'm very much privileged to share my view in front of you all, and I can see that today everyone is having full of knowledge and all the dignitaries and all the panelists, and I can see the senior professors and my teachers. I'm having cold feet actually, and I'm fresh now, but I'll try to speak whatever I have prepared. So uh, first of all, happy Human Rights Day. Happy Human Rights Day. And my topic is human right. You're cursing that I'm feeling hungry and she's gonna take a lot of time. Don't think like that. I'll just take few minutes, not even 15 minutes. Maybe you'll be hungry. Okay. So thank you. Right to education as a human right. I can say that I was a teacher, Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan teacher. During school days, like I had many colleagues in Arunachal Pradesh. I had many colleagues. Few of them they were even not knowing. Also, I'm not discriminating. Like few of them they didn't know how to teach and how to they were like some students were asking, sir, what is the meaning? What is the English meaning of pasina? Just I would like to request, sir, please let me be informal bit. Okay. I want.
Be yourself.
Okay, thank you, sir.
They are all our people. There is no formality. Please.
So some of the students used to ask that, sir, pasina को क्या बोलते हैं इंग्लिश में? तो like तो वो teacher he used to say that in our days I never heard of this word. I never heard of this word pasina. हाँ maybe इसको zigzag बोलता है. Like how just we can just imagine that in rural areas, like with a few most of the students they are not getting such platform to read or write. That's why we are privileged, and we should promote right to education, and this is a fundamental right. And yesterday, while I was preparing this PPT, I could see that education is the milk of a lioness. Whoever drinks it will roar. And I was just remembering one of my Bengali teacher. You all are from Bengal. Most of you, the students are from Bengal. I heard that. So one of my Bengali physics teacher used to tell that हिंदुस्तान में हर बच्चे शेर की तरह जिए वरना पैदा होते ही मर जाए. He was just emphasizing on the right to education. So I was just remembering my physics teacher, and this course was given by our founding father Ambedkar, B.R. Ambedkar. So education is not a preparation for life. Education is just quickly let us go to the agenda of my topic. First is introduction, and second is component of the right to education and legal framework, inclusive education and quality of education, global disparity, challenges and barriers, and Indian aspect of RTE. Everyone can see, huh? Okay. The right to education is recognized as a fundamental human right and is enshrined in various international legal instruments. Like in UDHR also, if we see Article 26 of the UDHR, here also it emphasizes the right to education as a human right. This place in Arunachal Pradesh, so there also I can see and I could feel that most of the students, they want to study, but they don't have the infrastructures and they don't have accessibility. So they can't reach up to like they can't compete with all. So
And let us just see components of the right to education. Just remember A, 4A, okay. Availability. This comes under the DPSP also. And in availability, state must ensure the availability of the education, infrastructure and facilities and trained teachers. Likewise, I have told that even the teachers that he was a teacher, but he couldn't even tell the meaning of pasina. He was not knowing the meaning of pasina. He was just telling zigzag. Likewise, so our government, our government, state government, or our central government should ensure in such rural areas, like teachers should be well trained, so that we can get more knowledge, and we can just implement every accessibility and accessibility also, and ability of the teachers at least. And let's see. Yes, in UDHR, I have already spoken about the Article 26 of the UDHR. It also emphasizes that right to education as a human right. And I know that all of you have already learned from learned professors and all the my co-panelists. You have already learned, but just excuse me as as I'm just excuse me that be with me for a few more minutes, okay? Thank you so much. And in inclusive education also, if we see the aspect of the right to education, it aims to provide equal opportunities of the learner. Like if we say equal opportunity, our central government appeals that there should be one nation and one vote. Why can't we appeal for why can't we proclaim for the one nation and one education? Like in the students, they are getting the students in urban area, they are getting more they are getting more facilities, like daughter of Ambani, we can say, and like daughter of rural areas in one of the district in Arunachal Pradesh. They should have same equality to right to education. So we can, being a law professor, being a teacher, we should proclaim for this right of education, and we should have one education, one nation and one education. We should try to emphasize on it. For quality of education also, if we see, there are 10 SDG goals, Sustainable Development Goals, and in goal number 4, it also emphasizes about the right to education and the importance of education as a human right. SDGs there are 10 SDG goals, and
will you write it in our online platform? You can conclude. Give your conclusion.
Yes. And challenges we can see for right and education. There are a lot of challenges, as I have spoken, and barriers are like they are very few of them. They are very poor, even though they don't have fees to get enrolled in the school. So, and few infrastructures to study, and lack of funding also. Even if the central government give a lot of funds towards the education in Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan also, but I think this funds are being diverted somewhere else. So the directive principle of state policy, and these articles also emphasize on the right to education. And this Article 21 also, this is a very famous, and this article is very much favored for our law student also, and the law background also. Article 21 is very much important for everyone. And in Article 39E and F also, it emphasizes on the right to education and right to work for equality for every student. Okay, quickly let me switch to the conclusion. Okay. Yes. Conclusion. I would like to conclude.
Conclude it.
Okay. I would like to conclude that yes. Even if many of the students, or many of in India also, we have like we want to study, and we want to compete other countries. We are, as a developing country, we want to compete other countries also, but lack of infrastructure, lack of funding and everything, we
Thank you, sir. Thank you for this forceful plea for non-interference.
Mr. Mayank Tyagi, Sanjay Kumar, Sana Salim, Mr. Vijay Kumar Verma, Dr. Aliva sir.